So let's see, that is the ligaments of the uterus. So the ligament of the uterus, it should be divided into that the two types, that is the false ligament and the true ligament. So false ligament, it is the fold of the peritoneum which do not provide the support to that the uterus, and the true ligament, it is the fibromuscular band which provide the support to that the uterus. Then let's see first the false ligament, and from this the first ligament, it is the broad ligament. So here you can see, that is the bluish color large ligament is present, the fold of the peritoneum, it is called the broad ligament. So the broad ligament, it is the peritoneum passing from the side of the uterus to the lateral wall of the pelvis. Then the broad ligament present, that is the two borders and the two surface. So when the bladder is distended, so it should be forming, that is the two surfaces. This is anterior surface and posterior to it, that is the posterior surface. Then the two border, that is the upper border, this one, and the inferior or the lower border, this one. Then the parts of the broad ligament. So the broad ligament, it should be divided into that the four part. So first, that is the mesosalpinx. So the mesosalpinx, it is the part of the broad ligament which is present between that the fallopian tube, so this one, and the ligament of the ovary, so that green color part. So between this region, that the part, it is called the mesosalpinx. Then the mesometrium. So it is the part of the broad ligament present between the ovary and the ligament of the ovary and the body of the uterus. So this one, that is the ligament of ovary, this is the ovary, and remaining, that is the body of uterus. So this lower large part, it is called the mesometrium. Then the mesovarium. So it is the fold of posterior layer of the broad ligament extending to the ovary to be attached with it, and it lies just below and behind the ambulatory part of the uterus. So in the another diagram, you can see, that is the mesovarium. So here, that is the fold of the peritoneum which is enters into the anterior border of the ovary. So that is called the mesovarium. Then the last one, that is called the ligament or the suspensory ligament of the ovary, or that is also called the infundibulopelvic ligament. So for this, again we should have to see the another diagram. So here you can see, that is the suspensory ligament, this one, which consists of, that is the ovarian artery, this one. So let's see, that is the suspensory ligament. So the suspensory ligament, it is the part of the broad ligament and which extends from the infundibulum of the tube and the upper pole of the ovary. So this one, from this, and it goes upwards and laterally to the lateral wall of the lesser pelvis, and it consists of the ovarian blood vessel, nerves, and the lymph vessel, and it is continuous laterally over the external iliac vessel. Then contents of the broad ligament. So this one. So first, that is the broad ligament that consists of one tube, that is the uterine tube. So this one. Second, that is the two ligament, that is the round ligament of the uterus and the ligament of the ovary. So here you can see, this is the ligament of ovary, and here this one, that is the suspensory ligament, that is the ligament of ovary, and second one, that is the round ligament of the uterus. So here you can see that is the round ligament of the uterus, this one. Then the two plexuses of nerve, that is the uterovaginal plexus and the ovarian plexus. Then the three remnants of the embryological remnants, that is the epiphoron, the paraphoron and the vesicular appendix. So here in this diagram you can see, this is the epiphoron, this is the paraphoron, this one, and that is this one, that is the Gartner's duct, this one. Then other structures, that is the lymph vessel and the lymph nodes, the fibroareolar tissue and the uterovaginal and the ovarian nerve plexuses. After then let's see, that is the supports of the uterus. Before starting the supports of the uterus, we should know that is the fibromuscular band or the true ligament. So the true ligament, it gives support to that the uterus, and it consists of the round ligament of the uterus, the transverse cervical ligament, then the uterosacral ligament, so this one, uterosacral ligament, and these are separately will describe into that the supports of the uterus. Then the supports of the uterus. So uterus is kept in the position and prevented from the sagging, so that is the number of structure gives support to it. So these supports of the uterus are divided into that the two types, that is the primary support and the secondary support. So the primary support, that consists of the muscular structure, the visceral structure and the fibromuscular structure. So the muscular structure, that consists of the pelvic diaphragm, here that should be present, then the perineal body, so here between that the rectum and the vagina, here that is the perineal body is present, and the urogenital diaphragm, so here that is the urogenital diaphragm is present. Then the visceral structure, that consists of the urinary bladder, so anteriorly here you can see that is the urinary bladder, then the vagina inferiorly and the uterine axis, so this one, anteroverted position of the uterus. Then the fibromuscular structure, that consists of the transverse cervical ligament, so here you can see that is the transverse cervical ligament, both that is in pair. Then the pubocervical ligament, so here you can see anteriorly, that is the pubocervical ligament, that is also in pair. Then the uterosacral ligament, so this one, that is also in pair, the uterosacral ligament, and the round ligament of the uterus, so here you can see that is the round ligament of the uterus. Then the secondary support, it gives and consists of the broad ligament, then the uterovesical fold of the peritoneum and the rectouterine fold of the peritoneum, which is present posteriorly and the anterior side. So let's see first, that is the transverse cervical ligament, so this one. So they are most important ligament of the uterus and hence often called the cardinal ligament, and it is formed by the condensation of the pelvic fascia around the uterine vessel. Then each ligament form the fan-shaped fibromuscular band, which extends from the lateral aspect of the cervix on both sides, here that is the cervix, and the upper vaginal wall to the lateral pelvic wall. Then the pubocervical ligament, so this one, pubocervical ligament, so that is a pair of fibrous band which extends from the cervix to the posterior aspect of the pubic bone, this one. Then the third ligament, that is the uterosacral ligament, so here in this diagram you can see that is the uterosacral ligament, this one. So it is a pair of the fibrous band, so this one extends from the cervix to that the second and the third sacral vertebra, this one. Then the round ligament of the uterus. So here in this diagram you can see this is the round ligament of the uterus. So these are a pair of long, near about 10 to 12 centimeter fibromuscular band which lie between the two layers of the broad ligament. So each ligament, it begins from the lateral angle of the uterus, so here, and passes forwards and laterally between the two layers of the broad ligament and enters into the deep inguinal ring after winding around the lateral side of the inferior epigastric artery and travels into the inguinal canal and emerging through the superficial inguinal ring and split into the numerous threads like the fibrous band which merge with the fibroareolar tissue of the labium major. So that is the round ligament of the uterus. Then the clinical or the applied anatomy. So first, that is the commonest disease, that is the cervical carcinoma. So it is the most common cancer in the females and near about 11% of the cancer that should be occurs. And it is very rare before the 20 years of the age and reaches peak between the age of 45 to 55 years. 80% of the cervical cancer are the squamous cell carcinoma and are related to that the sexual activity, and it spreads directly to that the adjacent structure and metastasizes via lymphatics to the pelvic lymph nodes and then to the aortic and the para-aortic lymph nodes. So it shows the clinical features, that is abnormal vaginal bleeding, then the postcoital bleeding, pain, anorexia and the weight loss. The next clinical point, that is the fibroid or uterine fibroid. So these are the benign tumors arising from the myometrial cells and they are commonly occurs at the age of the 35 years and they are usually multiple and may undergo degenerative changes. So they are commonly asymptomatic, but if it is large, so hysterectomy may be done. So hysterectomy means that is the removal of the uterus. Next clinical point, that is the cesarean section. So it is the surgical procedure for delivering the baby by cutting open the abdomen and the uterus in case where that is the vaginal delivery it is not possible. So that is called the LACS or the cesarean section. Then next to it, then the intrauterine contraceptives like the copper T, it is prevent the implantation of the fertilized ovum into that the uterus. So that is the commonly and very easy and no complicated procedure which is used by the females for the contraceptives. These are the clinical points related with that the uterus.